Time Magazine's 100 most influential people of 2020. Take a good look. Talents like her do not come along very often. One of only 2 women, Sonia, to have made the U.S. Olympic team in the 100, the 200, and the 400 meters.
Absolutely incredible, and she's still going. And look who's in the stands with her. Her entire family's here. Her daughter Cameron, husband Kenneth, and her mom and dad. And I can only imagine how amazing this must feel for Allison to be able to still be so competitive and to be able to have her daughter there looking on.
And that's one of the driving forces, isn't it? Behind this campaign, she really wants Cammie to see Mummy at the Olympics.
I love that.
To have that lifetime memory.
And there's Jessica Beard, who is having an incredible season. She's made 4 World Championship teams, Otto, and never an Olympic. So she's bidding to make her first Olympic team. And here she's off, hopefully, to a great start.
She's had a lot of service for the United States, but all in the relay. 5 gold medals at the World Championships and 1 silver. But as you said, Sonia, never made an Olympic team individually or on a relay. Allison Felix is in 5.
Top 3 in each heat advance to the semifinals. Felix is in 5, on her outside in 6. In that multicolored outfit is Jessica Beard.
Allison off to a great start. We all know Allison for her speed, and she'll need to use that in the 400. Jessica Beard, who is now pacing down the backstretch, actually comes in with a better season's best than Allison. Will she be able to hold her off, or will Allison just continue to get better and better?
And remember that she was only supposed to be running the 200 at these Olympic trials. She got in the 400 because I think she looked at the landscape and said, you know what, there's a chance there as well. So Allison Felix well poised with just over 100 to go now.
On Allison's inside, coming on strong, Nasha Robinson. On the far outside here in lane 9 is Step de Bain. But Allison Felix has gone to the front. She's being pushed by Jessica Beard, but Felix will win her heats. Allison Felix in 51 seconds flat wins heat 1 of the women's 400.
I got chills seeing Cameron cheering for her mommy, and what a strong race Allison just run. 51 seconds in the first round is really good running, and the youngster really pushed her on the outside there, obviously trying to run the race of her life. This is the Olympic trials. This is where you give your best no matter what round it is, and Allison had to work for that, but she had it in her legs, Otto.
And how many times have we seen this? She has been going to the Olympics since she was 18 years of age. This is the constant. She is always so strong in the final 100, and she needed it to get to the front. 50.99 officially for Allison Felix as she wins her opening heat.
How about the stature? How about the physical composure?
Yeah.
Because we were there on day 1 during this comeback, right? And just the difference from then to now,
yes.
She looks like the Allison of old.
Absolutely. And look at that. Look at Cameron. She knew exactly when to clap. She knows exactly what's happening, and that's what makes these moments so special.
Already the reflection, taking it in on what has been achieved. Top 3 from each of the women's 400 meters heats go through to the semi-final, and Allison Felix, heat 1 winner, is with Lewis Johnson. Lewis?
And a big smile on her face. Well, Allison, first of all, to be back at the trials and to run so well in your first round, what do you think?
Oh, just really special. Just want to take this all in. I'm having fun.
You know who else is taking this in, right? Cammie, what are your thoughts about having your daughter here watching you race and understand what you're doing?
It means so much. It's been a hard road.
Look, there she is.
A hard road, so I'm just happy to be here.
Okay, and what are you hoping for these next few rounds? You're feeling well and believe that it's a chance really for you to make your 5th Olympic team?
Yeah, I feel good. You know, I just want to run smart, keep progressing.
Right, okay, good stuff. I'm sure the family's enjoying.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll now check in with Paul Swangard. Paul?
Thanks very much, Lewis. Also joined by Trey Hart as we talk about the field events. We've got 4 qualifying rounds today, but the 1 final
heat.
Lane 3, that's Quanera Hayes. Her coach says she is in scintillating form, and she has proven it so far this year. She is the 3rd fastest American in 2021.
Again, the top 3 go through to the semi-finals, and after the heats, after that 4th and final heat is complete, we'll look at the times, the next 4 fastest times, then it also advance to the semi-finals. So right in the middle, lane 5, Francina McCrory.
And Francina McCory is known for her finishing speed, so she's going to get out slow and then really try to haul as much as she can and make up the gap on the final part of the race. But there is Quanera Hayes in lane 3, who we expect to be off to an early start and be able to really cruise and control this second heat of the prelims 400.
Yeah, Quanera Hayes wasted no time at the sound of the gun. She's in the lead at 200, and she's going to have quite a lead as they turn for Homely.
The 29-year-old from Hope Mills, North Carolina, is clearly out in front on the bend. Taylor Manson got a tremendous start, all in blue. She runs second at the moment, and she's starting to reel Quanera Hayes in. Hayes has run out of gas late in this one, and here comes Taylor Manson. It's going to be tight. Manson, whoa, Quanera Hayes just holds on over Taylor Manson. That was tight.
Look at how much slower she ran than Allison Felix, almost a second and a half. And what she did is that she started to back off,
She did
Sonia.
back off, yeah. She backed off, Lee. So she realized she had such a big lead, and you don't want to expend too much energy in the first round. She allowed herself to be able to relax. She's not tying up here. And then she said, oh, they're coming. I'll just give just enough. So Quanera Hayes actually in the best position going into the semifinals because she didn't have to expend too much energy. She was in complete control, and she goes into the next round easily.
Trust me, Lee, she runs faster than that in practice. 52.3 for somebody who's run 49.9 this year.
Oh, yeah.
She was very much off the gas.
It's Taylor Manson, who finished second in a time of 52.37. And she will be part of the top 3 with the Qs next to them to go through along with Brittany Aveni.
He said it's really done a great job of highlighting some of their great athletes. This is Lena Irby, 2018 NCAA champion as a freshman. Her final 3 years at Georgia and become pro. She's revealed a little bit about her mental issues and really overcoming that, but just an incredible athlete and one to watch for Team USA.
Yeah, she'll start as favorite here. Phyllis Francis was world champion back in 2017, but she's only 34th on the U.S. list this year.
Third heat of the women's 400. Out wide in lane 7. Keep an eye on Natasha Hastings as well.
Natasha Hastings made the team back in 2016, and as usual, she's second from the left. She's going out very aggressively.
And so is Lena Irby, who looks fantastic down this backstretch, and like you said, is the favorite in this race, so will want to control it early. And she's doing just that.
Lena Irby has very good 200-meter speed and great 400-meter strength. And look at the lead that she has forged with 150 meters now to go.
And Addo, you mentioned 150 meters. That was the distance that she won at the Boost Games in Boston.
And look at Kaylin Whitney, the youngster who was a 100 and 200-meter specialist, who has moved up to the 400, looking pretty strong up to this point.
On the inside is Wadeline Jonathas. Wadeline Jonathas has taken the lead of this race over Lena Irby, and Jonathas will win Heat 3 of the women's 400 in a time of 50.65.
Wadeline Jonathas was the highest U.S. finisher at the World Championships 2 years ago when she finished 4th, and she did a good job of getting around the oval, Sonia, ahead of Irby.
Yeah, not surprised by Wadeline Jonathas because she was one of my favorites when I watched her compete in 2019, but she hadn't been running as well as this today, so it looks like she's really rounding back into form. She was there in lane 2, which is a tough lane to run the 400 out of, but she stayed in her lane, stayed focused, and ran really strong. Look at how she's maintaining her form towards the end of this race. 50.64 in the first round is incredible racing and will give her tremendous confidence going through to the next round.
I was surprised to see Lena Irby to the left of your screen struggling a little up the home straightaway. She usually looks better than that, but she can fix that in the semifinal.
Yeah, she worked a little bit too hard around the far turn. I think she paid for it coming home.
And on the inside of Lena Irby was Kaylin Whitney. She made that third and final transfer position to the semifinals, hence the Qs next to the top 3 athletes. Unfortunately, Phyllis Francis will have to rely on time, but that was a quick heat, as Addo and Sonia mentioned, meters to continue the construction of what the semifinals will look like. So let's introduce you to some of the athletes in lane 4. It's Kendall Ellis of Pembroke Pines, Florida.
That's right, and very rarely do track and field athletes go viral, but she did in 2018 with an unforgettable comeback in the 4x4 where she took USC from 5th to 1st. Kobe actually tweeted her about that. Rest in peace to what a phenom he was. She went on to win 2 medals with Team USA in 2017 and 2019 on the relay, and will come into this race as one of the favorites. to make it to the semi.
She's made every single team to the World Championships since she's turned pro, 2017 and 2019.
Out in lane 7, the only Olympian in this heat, Courtney Okolo. A couple of lanes inside her, the teenager, the 18-year-old Talitha Diggs.
She lost her grandfather late last year. Her grandfather was Joe Clark, the legendary educator and principal at Eastside High in New Jersey. What he did there made him the subject of the 1989 movie Lean on Me, where Morgan Freeman played him, and his daughters Joetta and Hazel, along with their sister-in-law pictured here, Jeremiah Clark, were dominant figures. They swept the trials in 2000, and now another generation, Talitha Diggs, is taking to the track to try to make her very first Olympic team. And Lee, you know, sometimes you don't want to be like all your aunts and your family. She's like, no 800 for me. I am a quarter miler. She can run the 200 as well.
And there's her family in the stands, Joetta Clark. And I spoke with her aunt, Hazel Clark, who said when she sent her the photo of her bib that showed the Olympic trials, she got so emotional to see her niece on the track. It's just a phenomenal legacy that she will continue.
And she was the runner-up at the NCAA championships for Florida as just a freshman. And she will start as the favorite here, although I expect Kendall Ellis to also be very close.
Don't have to be part of the family to know how much that legacy means.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ellis in 4, Diggs is in 5. Center your track.
Final heat of the women's 400 meters. Keep an eye on Courtney Okolo out wide in lane 7. Kendall Ellis right in the middle.
And Courtney Okolo is actually out to the best start. Courtney Okolo had an amazing career at the University of Texas, has lots of good memories. If she can pull on those, she can show up today and run really well, but she hasn't produced what many of us thought she would. Kendall Ellis in the middle of your track, they're looking very comfortable in the backstretch.
So Ellis and Okolo through halfway. But remember that Talitha Diggs' mother is an Olympic finalist at 800 meters, so we know she has lots of strength. The question is, has she recovered from the NCAA championships just a week ago? She's in trouble right here.
The 18-year-old, can she get that third spot? She's looking good at the moment. It's all Kendall Ellis out in front. Talitha Diggs is going to make it. She does get into the top 3. Ellis wins over Jordan Lavender, and then Talitha Diggs gets into the semis.
It's 800 meter strength.
You said it. And look at her mom, super proud of her. It's one race at a time, and she's given herself a chance to get to the semifinals, and you put together your best race and a chance to be in the final. But I got to tell you, Lee, I loved the way Kendall Ellis put that race together. She looked like she was in complete control the entire time. 51:02, another strong prelim heat for these women.
And Ellis is part of a phenomenal training group at the University of Southern Cal, trains with Michael Norman, Rai Benjamin. So they're coming off of a national championship. So Kendall Ellis, as you said, Sonia, looked to be somebody who is ready to make her first Olympic team. Talitha Diggs recovered well, and you see Shea Anderson as well on the inside get through to the next round.
It's Talitha Diggs all in blue. She comes home 3rd. She competed here just last weekend at those NCAA titles at Addo and Sonia mentioned, where she finished 2nd to Ating Mo. But Kendall Ellis wins the 4th and final heat of the women's 400 meters, and the semi-final fields will be set. But let's show you the results from that 4th and final heat, just to show you and remind you again who qualifies. Courtney Okolo will have to rely on time, but it's going to be very tight. I think the bubble time was 52:11. Here's Lewis Johnson.
All right, got Talitha Diggs here. She likes to see that Q by her name. And first of all, you were just here last week running the NCAA meet. How did you feel coming back out here to run again at these trials?
Yeah, this is a beautiful track. You know, Oregon's amazing, and Hayward Magic is something I grew up learning about, and just to come out here and feel it, and I got 2nd last week and ran 50 point, and to come out here and get that big Q, it's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I ran with your mom, Joetta, for many years. Of course, she's a great champion. How in the world did you get away from running the 800, Talitha? How did that happen?
I don't know. I just, you know, had that speed in me, and I knew that, you know, I needed to do it, and that, you know, my mom was a great 800 runner, but I can be great in the 400.
Right, and seriously, with all the great athletes in your family, and of course the great leadership and spirit of your grandfather. What have they instilled in you that you've now carried into your sporting experience?
Yeah, definitely, hard work, determination, and to just trust yourself, believe in what you can do, and if you do those things, you'll be great.
All right, Talitha, we'll follow your journey here. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Lee?
That's a pretty mature head on 18-year-old shoulders, isn't it? But she's got that heritage to lean on. All right, so key qualifiers. Again, not all the qualifiers, but key qualifiers for the women's 400-meter semifinals here.